He was a big child. I mean, he was 8 pounds, 7 ounces. He, came out screaming and, kicking and crying. And, he got a 9 out of 9 on his APGARs. And, no one ever suspected that, there was anything wrong.
When Cole Webb was born, what the routine infant tests did not show and what no one could yet see was the devastating secret he possessed from the very moment of conception. Dan and Kristen Webb, like one person in every 40, each carries a recessive gene, which by itself, in them, is harmless and unnoticed. But it means there is a 1 in 4 chance that a child of theirs will inherit both recessive genes. They found all of this out for the first time when Cole was 6 weeks old. They knew he was sick, but they had no idea how sick.
I'll never forget the doctor sent us home Thursday afternoon, and he told us to pray for infant botulism. And I've never, I thought, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Why would I pray for that? And he said, because what it could be other than that is much, much worse.
What was worse was SMA, spinal muscular atrophy. It is a disease that affects a group of cells that run the length of the spinal cord. It was already affecting Cole's ability to use many of his muscles.
It's a specialized area of the spinal cord. It runs all the way to the top. So the top of your spinal cord is responsible for control of your hands and your arms. The lower part of your spinal cord is responsible for your legs and your feet. And the middle part is responsible for your breathing muscles. And because each of those areas is affected with spinal muscular atrophy, the result is profound weakness.
There are several types of SMA. They differ in the age the symptoms begin to appear and how serious they are. Those with type 3 SMA may be able to stand and even walk. With type 2, they can often sit up and can use a wheelchair. And then there is type 1 SMA. It strikes the earliest and is the most severe. These infants will never sit up or even hold their heads. They will have trouble swallowing and breathing. They have the toughest time and the shortest lives. Cole Webb was diagnosed with type 1 SMA.
They told us to take him home and love him and give him as much love as we possibly could while he was still here. We were rapidly approaching his 6-month birthday, and I remember the doctor said, really celebrate this birthday, because you might not make it to a year. And he flew past 6 months and he flew past a year, and we just celebrated his 2nd birthday, August 13th.
The Webb's life revolves around Cole, his bed, and all the equipment and the monitors in his room. Because SMA affects breathing, all those with the disease run the risk of pneumonia. His parents rarely take him from this room for fear that even catching a cold could be deadly. But in all variations of SMA, the brain is not affected. For all he has never experienced, all he cannot do and will never do, Cole's mind has grown, and his mother knows him as well as any mother knows her son.
He has a very smart mind. He knows his favorite toys and he knows his favorite television shows. He knows Mom and Dad. And, I look at him and I think, how does he do it every day? How does he fight? He fights every day. He fights to breathe. He fights to move.
There you go.
Even just picking up his hand, to move his pinwheel is a struggle. But he always has a smile. I don't think that he knows he's different. I think that, all he knows is that everyone loves him so much.
With better supportive care and prevention of infections, the lives of many SMA children have been improved and extended. So far, though, there is no cure, no way to make them stronger. But because of research supported by families of SMA, there has been progress, there is hope. The SMA gene has been identified, and it is now understood that it fails to provide a certain protein. It means scientists now know what a cure will need to do.
It is an absolutely exciting time for children and with spinal muscular atrophy, because in the last 5 or 6 years we have recognized the protein that is missing, and furthermore there are candidate medications which may be used to increase the amount of that protein. If you can do that, you may well make a child stronger. And we're just at the infancy of those clinical trials, but there are clinical trials going on now at several centers across the country.
FSMA donations continue to advance the work towards the next big breakthrough, the discovery of the drug that will do the job that the SMA gene fails to do. There is also research aimed at fixing the gene itself. It will take more time and money.
Always my biggest hope is that they find the cure. We think, if they find the cure tomorrow, so many other families won't have to go through this.
I think that there is hope for a cure. In spinal muscular atrophy, that cure may come for the children who are just newly diagnosed. A child who's had the diagnosis for many years, the cure for that child may mean stabilization, may mean fewer pneumonias. There are patients, if they could just not be in the hospital every 4th or 5th month, that for them would be a cure.
It is more common than most of us realize. 1 in 40 of us carry the gene. 1 in 6,000 children are born with some form of SMA. It is the #1 genetic killer of children under 2. Perhaps that's why SMA is a quiet disease. We never get to see or know so many of these children who come into the world and leave so soon.
I cannot even imagine what our life is going to be like without him. I don't think we can ever say that we'll be ready for it. I think that only he can say, I think Cole will know when he's ready, and I think he'll know when he's done fighting this.
There has been joy and profound sadness in their lives, and yet there is also hope among scientists, doctors, and in SMA families. A cure seems to be out there, but not yet quite in reach. SMA has taken so many so quickly, and they never got to speak for themselves, never got to ask. Others will ask for them. Please help those who have been born with SMA and those who will be born with SMA tomorrow.
Once in a lullaby, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top, that's where